When I first got into USC, I weighed 130 pounds, but by the time I'd graduated, I had put on quite a bit of muscle and was working out every single day consistently. And as somebody who doesn't really party a lot or, socialize too much outside of class, it was a really great way for me to not only make friends, but also gain a huge mental benefit as well that I still use to this day. And when I first started going to the gym, I was the very stereotypical CS major, pretty nerdy, super skinny, and wore glasses. And so I was pretty much glued to my laptop screen 24/7. But going to the gym definitely added a whole different dimension to my life that I honestly didn't even know I was missing. Before, I honestly didn't care about how I looked in terms of, having more muscle or being in shape. I just thought, as long as I'm doing good academically and pursuing my career, that's all that matters. But it turns out that fitness in general, not just the gym, has such huge impacts on, not only your academic, but professional performance. And so first I'll start going over the mental benefits I experienced from the gym. The gym was an amazing way for me to relax in a sense. And so even though you're exerting yourself physically and, pushing yourself hard, at the same time, you're able to kind of completely zone out from all the external academic and, career pressures that are on you. And so if you have tests to study for, if you have, these crazy homework assignments and you're worried about getting a job and all these things, you do need some time for yourself, I think, even if it's like an hour out of the day, to completely reset from that, take a step back and just say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna, drink some caffeine, play my favorite music, and just get a good sweat in basically. And the way you feel after the gym is truly amazing. I don't know how to really describe it. It's almost like a high in a sense because you walk out feeling really great about yourself. I think partly because of the chemicals, although I'm not a doctor, so I can't go into too much detail on that. And also just the fact that you're sticking to a routine that you committed to. And on top of that, it just completely reduces the stress you were feeling before. You feel super focused and super calm, and it provides almost like a second energy boost so you can keep studying or grinding LeetCode or whatever you're doing before you went in there. And I'm not sure how many people will really relate to this, but I'm a very competitive person, and so not necessarily like getting good grades type of competitive, like worried about my classmates, but more so, wanting to be a high achiever in my career. And whether it's even something stupid like video games, I always wanted to be doing well. And so the gym was an amazing way for me to kind of use that competitive fire I have as fuel and actually turn it into a physical benefit and also a mental benefit. And so I just wanted to throw that out there for anybody who kind of maybe feels like they're a competitive person, but they don't really have an outlet for that. You might be able to tell, but I'm somebody who never partied or joined any social clubs in college, but it turns out that the gym was a great way for me to, make great friends and also connections. The way I met people was always super random. One of my best friends to this day, we only met because I was studying with a friend after a workout, doing LeetCode prep and interview prep, and he happened to see our screens walking by after he had finished his workout and said, hey, do you mind if I join you guys sometime? And so we started hanging out a lot. We kind of became a tight friend group, and even though he's working, full-time at SF now as a software engineer, we still hang out to this day. Another super random encounter was I met somebody who was interning in LA for the summer, but actually went to Vanderbilt. And so it just goes to show you can meet so many different people from all across, the world even, at unexpected times. And we were waiting for the same machine. We ended up working out together, and then he invited me to go clubbing in the next couple of weeks, I think, with his friend group. And although that's the last time I will ever go clubbing, it was still a pretty fun experience. And even now, despite working at 2 startups, working a lot of hours, I still go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. And I think it's something that I'll never stop doing just because it's changed my life so much for the better. And it's become so integral to my daily routine. I hope this video, encourages some people to start going to the gym if they were thinking about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and thanks for watching.